Hi, my name is Phil Metzger, and welcome to the Flickering Light Bulb, an active exploration and experimentation of the creative process. Everything needs marketing, or at least exposure to grow. This podcast is part of a multi-platform resource that looks to serve its community by interviewing rising or successful individuals, speaking to modern marketing techniques, and learning through others' trials and errors. That includes my own. Having a lifelong fascination with how things are created, I have worked as a photographer, DJ, media company intern, a television commercial producer, theme, music creator, graphic designer, music label consultant, director for a nonprofit, website creator, music video producer, podcast producer, and now podcast host and creator. Subscribe and listen as I document my creative endeavors and speak to others about their tactics and willingness to experiment and to try something new. This podcast will seem like it's more on the business side, or we'll say professional development or advancement, featuring interviews with other people, as well as thoughts, trials, errors, new ideas, and updates from myself and from my company. I am in marketing, but this won't feature the traditional humdrum type corporate stuff. This will be focused on the things you can do to improve your own perception and professional journey. I feel like we are reaching a new age of gaining exposure, and there are a group of hungry professionals that need someone to tell them that things are going to be all right, and that there are other people out there that are every bit as hungry and ready to learn. And I hope that a community develops around these thoughts and concepts. I'll be sitting down, sitting down and talking to people is by far the most beneficial way for me to educate myself. And especially as a marketing company, I feel inclined to record my conversations as to be part of a resource for you, the listener. I made a habit of recording meetings and conversations, one, because I have a terrible memory, and two, because I didn't want to take my focus off the person sitting across from me. So hopefully I can translate that practice of the way I go about my meetings and bring something educational to you. Just to kind of give you a hint, here are 5 questions that I typically will be asking guests. What are some of the more unconventional tactics or approaches you have tried that either worked or have taught you never again? How do you recharge your battery after a long, intense run of work? When you are looking for growth, either personally or professionally, what are some of your go-to activities or methodologies? What are some experiments you tried that didn't work out but still educate you today? And, of course, what is the best way for people to reach out to you, either for business or additional questions? All that being said, there will be a wide range of styles of interviews, including some that might be of more entertainment value rather than business advice. Basically, I truly enjoy the process of learning, and I want others to be able to benefit from the knowledge my guests are willing to share. My first guest, Kevin Gray, was extremely candid about his journey. Kevin is a third-generation owner of a paving company, one that he bought from his father-in-law. He gets into working with family, the biggest challenges, and changing a culture of a business, especially in an industry that has been doing things the same way for decades, lessons learned from aiming too high, and even his battle with alcohol and drug addiction, which hearing his turnaround was powerful and incredible to be a part of, and I hope that enthusiasm, both for his professional and personal life, is conveyed to your ears. Now let's go off script a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of insight about who I am in my past and why I feel slightly qualified to speak to this. I know I gave you my resume earlier, and it's all creative endeavors, but let's start back from the beginning. Growing up, I had a great enthusiasm for audio. My best friend growing up, Adam Kestel, was just a music and audiophile. We would grow up walking around his house and grabbing dishes and pots and pans and art, which I'm sure his mom was not thrilled about, trying to make different noises, see what sounded like something else. I mean, we had to have been just annoying kids. We even got on each other's nerves a lot. Him, because I was always listening to him practice or try new things, and me on his nerves because I was probably terrible compared to his skill level when it comes to timing, pitch, and everything else like that. But we really spent a ton of time diving into, tactics and methods and professionals that came before us and different pathways. I started as a photographer in my late teens, early 20s. That's where I learned about light and DSLR cameras, which helped both the photography side of things and later down the line, video side of things. Years down the line, Adam and I actually opened up a DJ company. It was a ton of fun. I got to learn about how people interact with music, different situations out and about, and how audio affects them. It was just an absolute blast, but it didn't work out, and very shortly after that, I decided to pursue an education in audio engineering. I went to the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences in Tempe, Arizona. I had the intention of getting into audio for film, whether it be on the music composition side of things or more on the sound effects side of things. I really liked finding the audio that matched what was presented on the screen. I went to Los Angeles for my internship, and I didn't really enjoy it. Now, that could have been because I was living on eggs, ramen noodles, and Natty Light, but shortly after I had wrapped up my internship there, I came back to Louisville, Kentucky, which is where I'm originally from, now in New York. But I went back to Louisville, Kentucky, my home, and spent a couple years there working for a fiber optic network engineering company, which I will eternally be grateful for. They gave me a chance that really gave me time to figure out what it is I wanted to do in life, and they were so generous when it came time for me to move on. So I'll always be thankful for that opportunity. But when the time came, I started my own media production company, and it has been a roller coaster ever since, and I absolutely love it. I wake up every day so enthused. I legitimately woke up this morning excited that it was Tuesday and not a day closer to the weekend. Not that I have anything against the weekend, because I still get a few hours of work done here and there, but I just really enjoy and love what I do, and it's a look into human psychology every bit as much as it is the creation process. So throughout this whole journey, you'll get to hear me, or choose to hear me, I guess, talk about some different ways that I go about gaining people's attention, my clients, and what they are trying to accomplish, and some different ways we are trying to reach their clients and prospective clients especially. Now to me, I moved up to, I met a girl. I moved up to New York about a year ago, and I'm about 40 minutes north of the city. I'm extremely happy here. I have set myself up to be able to sit in solitude 50 to 80% of my time at work. And I think that time and thought has really been beneficial for me. And I hope to be able to give you all some advice or insight as far as for those of you who don't have the time or just don't have the ability to do the research that I have had time to do. So anyways, this is not going to be the only resource for the Flickering Light Bulb. It will be the main source, but I'll also have an Instagram page, and that will be more for the daily visually creative side of things. And then also have a YouTube channel, which will be more on the tactics, featuring behind the scenes and visuals from some of the interviews you hear on this podcast. So I will go ahead and wrap up. I really do thank you for your time. This means the world to me. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. So please stay tuned, subscribe, and reach out with any questions you might have. Although I hope to be answering them over the first 10 episodes here. I look to progress as well. So thank you for your time. This is Phil Metzger with the Flickering Light Bulb, and have a great rest of the day.